Representing the 25 to 28 foot class in the bay boat category, the Dorado 25 flat deck has an overall length of 25 feet, a beam of 8 feet 4 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 400. Built to fish inshore or offshore, she has a draft of 15 inches, a dead rise of 14 degrees, a dry weight of 3,500 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 90 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
Cap, let's face it, we'd be lying if we said we didn't have our favorites. Here we are on another Dorado, this one the 25 flat deck.
More people asked me about this boat last year than probably any other boat that we did. I've got a lot of friends that this is the ideal boat for. After spending a little time on it, I can see why. The original Dorados were built for a West Coast guide boat. I mean, they're very popular for that. Since then, they've expanded. I mean, you find Dorados all over the place. They're becoming very popular on the east coast of Florida and beyond, but they still haven't lost that West Coast style roots. The boat has a lot of features that you're gonna find really useful for coastal fishing, pass fishing, inside fishing, really cool stuff, and a lot of really cool new things going on this boat. It all comes down to the features on it. Why don't we take a look at some of them and really get into the nuts and bolts of it.
Listen, let me tell you why this bow speaks to somebody of my size, okay? You don't have a big, high, obtrusive bow. I love the fact that they kept the freeboard just where it is, all the way from the stern to the bow. George, I've seen some great coffin boxes on some great boats. I don't know that I've seen a better one than that one.
You know, a great place to have it too. I mean, the coffin box thing has been around for a long time, but it's really useful. This one doesn't take up any useful space in the boat. I mean, it adds a lot as far as somewhere to put fish, bait, food, whatever you want right here, and a place to sit too, but it's very easy to fish around it. Underneath there, Rick, there's a gigantic storage box that's on an actuator, electric. It'll pop that hatch up, remote, come on up, get inside there, tons of storage. Right behind that, where my feet are here, another big storage area, 2 big buckets in there, cast net sized buckets, plenty of room for other gear in there as well. There's also underneath this seat, which is a very comfortable seat, by the way, this is an insulated box. You can make that a drink box. It's also plumbed up as a live well too. You've got a 22 gallon live well right there. Plenty big enough to put a bunch of baits to add to your pitch baits up in the front as well. You know, like me, I think every boat like this has got to have a tower. It's necessary equipment. This one's got a great one. Why don't we move back here and have a look at it?
You're absolutely right, Cap. A tower is a necessity on a boat like this for guys like you and I.
It's the cornerstone of any kind of inshore, coastal, visual fishery. Think about how useful it is for visual. Okay, it's not just for seeing fish. You can see so much better in every way, inshore and offshore, and running in shallow water, just seeing an obstacle, something you're about to hit, or if the water's about to get too shallow when you're cruising along. Okay, let's move back to this helm station right here. Really comfortable, nice 2 across wide, all this custom upholstery on here. Very nice. Inside there on the back of it, you've got a tackle station, drawers, tackle trays, and underneath they've got batteries. All the batteries stored, trolling motor batteries, your starting stuff, your house is underneath there as well.
This is a boat for somebody who has had boats for a long time. This low profile console and recessed electronics, that's sexy right there.
Okay, talk about recessed electronics. Look at the box right here. For one thing, the deck you're standing on right here keeps everything in the shade, but if that's not enough, it's recessed and blacked out. You've got a 16-inch Simrad display in there, Bocatech switches, really nice. Another 9-inch display here and a 9-inch in the tower on top. When you leave the boat, Rick, you cover this up. This cover piece locks all the electronics in there behind it, keeps everything safe. Let's move back into the cockpit and look at the rest of the fishing area on the boat right here. All right, back here in the cockpit, Rick, what's the first thing that everybody notices when they look in the back of this boat? How about this giant 60-gallon live well? It looks like the Atlanta Aquarium back here.
How easy does it make for you while you're running to just turn around, check your bait, they're doing fine?
Yeah, you can definitely keep track of them, and you can put a ton of bait in there for sure. You know, another thing in the cockpit here, you've got 4 52-inch long insulated boxes back here. This isn't just a bay fishing or fishing up in the pass for tarpon boat. You take this boat offshore and fish. I mean, here, East Coast fishing, this would be a great boat to go out and sailfish or dolphin fish on. Anchor the boat out and bottom fish. What a great cockpit to fish out of an anchored boat. Back here, 4 fish boxes insulated right there. You know, all the fish you could ever hold if that coffin box in the front wasn't enough.
How about the boats? They've done the same thing, George. This boat is dynamic inshore, okay? It's low gunnels, means a smaller footprint when you're in the shallow water. It's great offshore. You pick the right day, there's no limit to where you can go on it. It does so many things so well.